Hello, gorgeous girls and beautiful boys, men and women. How you doing? How are you doing? How was work this past week? And how is everything going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Timmy Kolayo, and I am a product manager. And yes, welcome back. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, you are welcome. Kindly have your seats. Someone is gonna get across to you very soon. All right, just kidding, just kidding. So, yes, welcome back to my YouTube channel. What do we do here? We talk about product management. If you are new into product management, this is actually the best channel for you. If I do say so myself, yeah, if I do say so myself. So, today, what are we going to be talking about? So, I actually realized that I've talked about portfolios, I've talked about interviews, and I've talked about product management skills, but I've never actually broken down how to write a PRD from scratch. Bad Timmy, bad Timmy. Like I have never, I know I've mentioned PRD, but we don't have like a video dedicated to PRD, and PRD is product requirement document. So yes, today is our lucky day. We are going to be talking about product requirement document today, how to write your first PRD. So it's going to be like beginner friendly, and even if you are a product manager, but you are trying to like fine tune everything, what are some of the things that you need to add? What are some of the sections that should go into your PRD? Yes, excuse me, I'm going to be talking about them today. So if you are new to product management, the PRD can actually feel very intimidating. It's this document that everyone references, but nobody really explains. So you don't know what goes in it. You don't know how detailed it should be. You don't even know if what you probably you've written one before, right? You don't know if what you wrote is the PRD or not, or maybe you shall wrote it chat for reference sake. If they say where is the PRD, you can say, oh, we have something. I think that's like the statement all of us, oh, there is something, we have something. But today, right, I'm breaking down exactly how to write your first PRD. So we'll cover what is, why it matters, and what sections to include. And I'll walk you through a real example so you can see how exactly your product requirement document should look like. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to write like a clear, useful PRD that your team will actually want to read. So let's get into it. What is a PRD and why does it matter? So yes, what is a PRD? So a PRD, like I said, is product requirement document. So we have like FRD, which is functional requirements document. So we have PRD, but let's talk about PRD today. So PRD is a document that describes what you are building and why. So you think of it as the source of truth for a feature or product, right? So it answers what are we building, why are we building it, and who is it for, and how will we know if this thing that we've built is successful, and what are the requirements. So those are the things that should actually be inside your PRD. So the PRD is not a detailed technical spec. That's for engineers to create. So they have their own documents that they create, sharp, but your own is for products, is for you, it's just for your, it's for you as a product manager rather. So it's also not a pixel perfect design. That one is for designer. So we have that, like the designer part, we have the engineer part, and we have the products part. So the PRD sits in between. It's actually the bridge between the product and vision, and also actual building. So the product, right? What is the vision of that product and what you will eventually build? Yes, what we, although we do usually change some things, but at least you know what you are set out to do. So why does it matter? Without a good PRD, right, engineers don't know what to build, designers don't know what to design, stakeholders are not aligned. You end up with endless meeting re-explaining the same things. Requirement change constantly because nothing is documented, and the team this one is even the terrible one. They can decide to build, it's not even they decided, it is because there is no document to guide them. So the team might just build the wrong thing. So with a good PRD, right, everyone has a shared understanding of what we are doing. You can make decisions asynchronously. You can do that together. New team members can get up to speed quickly. They understand. I mean, if somebody should join your team as a fresher, you can always refer them to the PRD. Oh, this is, you've explained, but you can still refer them to the product requirement document. Like, oh, this is going to explain in detail what we are trying to achieve. So you have a record of decisions and why you made them, and the team can now build with confidence. So here's the thing, right? Your PRD doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be clear and useful. And this is what we need to get straight. It is clarity and usefulness. It is not perfect. Be clear, and be useful. That is the most important thing about PRD, really. So I've seen like 2 page PRDs that work brilliantly, and I've also seen like 20 page PRDs, and it is very, very confusing. You feel like, is this a SOW that you are sending out, or is this actually a PRD, right? So the goal is communication, not documentation theater. It is communication. People can read that document and they understand what you are trying to do. So what is the anatomy of a FRD, of a PRD rather? So what sections do you need to include? We are going to be breaking everything down. So there is no official PRD format, but this one that I want to share with you is what I've been using, and it works really well for me. So different companies, they actually do it differently, but here is a structure, one that, like I said, it works for me, and I believe that if you actually use it too, you may not use all the sections, but I am very certain that it will definitely work for you, especially if you are a beginner. So the first part is overview or summary. So what are we building in one paragraph? In one paragraph, you should meet somebody on the staircase, and they ask you, what are you doing? And you can quickly tell them what you are doing. So it should be like one paragraph. What are we building in one paragraph? Why does it matter? You should also be able to do talk about why does it matter? Why are we building this product? Now the second section is the background or the context. What problem are we solving? Why now? And any relevant history or context. So you should be able to provide that in the second section. Now the third part is goals and success metrics. What are we trying to achieve, and how are we going to measure success? Those are the part that you are going to write in your goals and success metrics. Now the fourth part is user stories. User stories, who are we building for, and what do they need to do? Like, okay, fine, the users, what are they going to be doing with this application? What are they going to be doing with this solution? So you should know who you are building for. Are they students? Are they professionals? Are they old or elderly people? Are they young people? Are they students? Like, you need to know who you are building for. And the fifth part is the requirement, functional requirement, what it must do, and non-functional requirement. Like I said, FRD, and we have the non-functional requirement too. So the non-functional requirements, this one is about performance, security, etc. And you can actually collaborate with your technical team to help you with this non-functional requirement part. I'm going to break everything down. So under the requirements, you also want to list out of scope what we are not building. You should be able to put that also in your PRD. Then the sixth part is the user experience or flow. You can also work with your designer when you are trying to work on this part. So how will users interact with this? So you can just do like simple wireframes or flow diagrams. I have the sketch. I know I've mentioned it before, probably one of my videos. I'm just going to show you like a sketch of, so it looks like a wireframe, but it's just a sketch. I used my hand to actually draw it. It's nothing too serious, just to have it there, like just to explain visually what you are trying to achieve. Now the seventh one is dependencies and constraints. So what do we need from other teams, and what are the limitations? Those are the things that you are going to discuss in the seventh section. Now the eighth one is open questions. What do we still need to figure out in this? Okay, probably we've done like research and all of that, but there are still some areas that are not clear. So what do we still need to to figure out, right? And the ninth is the timeline and the milestones. When do we expect to ship, and what are the key milestones? So we are going to break everything down. So that's it. It's just 9 sections that I use when I'm writing my product requirement document. Some PRDs can actually have more, some have less. So you just need to start with these, and you can adjust based on your team's need, right? So let me just walk you through each section, and we have real example attached to them. So example of a PRD, let's say we are building for this video, for this, let me say tutorial sake, right? Let's say we are building a save for later feature, a save for later feature. For example, if you have like an e-commerce application and you want to buy something, but you just want to like favorite it, is that the word now, or you just want to save for later, or probably something like you have on YouTube. If you cannot watch the video now, you can save the video so that you don't lose it. You can save the video for later. So something like that, that's what we are going to be talking about. So I'm going to use like a realistic example, adding like save for later feature to an e-commerce application, like I said. So this is the kind of feature you might actually work on as a new product manager. I feel like it is very, very simple, very, very simple, really. So let me show you how I would write the PRD for this. Now the first section, like we said earlier, is the overview or the summary. So what do we include here? Like I said, it's one paragraph summary of what you are building, the elevator pitch version. Like I said, okay, someone should just stop you. What are you trying to do? you should be able to quickly explain, like tell them what you are trying to do without confusing them. Now, the example is we are adding a save for later feature that allows users to bookmark products that they are interested in excuse me, but they are not ready to purchase immediately. So users can save them while browsing, view their saved items in a dedicated list, and they can easily move items between their carts and saved list. This feature addresses a key user pain point, that which is what losing track of products they were considering, which currently leads to abandoned sections and lost sales. It's simple as that. That's just the problem statement. That's the overview of what we want to do. So why when you think about this example, why does it work? One, it is clear and concise. It states what we are building. It explains why it matters, and also anyone can understand it in 30 seconds. They understand that, oh, I saw something, but then probably I just scrolled. I couldn't save it. I don't know the name of the product again, but I decided to like save it. That would make me go back to that product, and I can buy it if I want it, or I can just take it out of the save for later box. Do you understand? Now, the beginner tip is that write this section last. You need to write it as the last part, right? So that you don't get everything muddled up. So after you figured out all the details, right, it's easier to summarize once you know everything. It is easier to do it that way. So you can make it the last part you want to work on. Now, the second section, which is background or context, what to include here is the problem you are solving, user research or data that support this, and why now. So the timing and any relevant background. So for example, let's say background. The problem is our user research shows that 65% of users browse multiple products before making a purchase decision. However, we don't currently offer a way to save products for later consideration. Users either add everything to their carts, which inflates cart abandonment rate, or try to remember product names to search for later, which often fails. In fact, for me, as a living witness, it do usually fail. I don't remember. And so I feel like the save for later is actually a good one. So what is the user research findings that I've been able to do based on this? One, in interviews with like 15 users, 12 actually mentioned wanting a way to bookmark products. The normal word we will always use is bookmark, right? So App Store reviews also mentioned that I wish I could save items. So 32 mentions in the last quarter. These are research. These are data that you've been able to like extract to back this problem. Do you get? Now, competitor apps like Jumia, Konga, they all offer save or wish list features, right? So why now? Why are we doing it now? We are seeing 40% cart abandonment rate, partially because users add items they are not ready to buy. Q1 focus is on improving conversion, and this feature directly supports this goal, right? Engineering has capacity after completing the checkout redesign, and previous attempts, none. Have we tried to do it before? None. So this is our first attempt at solving the problem. So do you understand? Now, why does this work? Why? It shows you've done your own work, right? Backs up the need with data and explains the timing, set context for decision makers. Now, the beginner tip for you is that if you don't have a formal user research, that is fine. That is okay. If there is no research to back it up, formal research, probably like from the App Store, interview, and all of that, it is okay. But reference app reviews, you can reference like your app reviews, you can reference competitor analysis, like the one that I said about Jumia or Konga. You can reference your competitor analysis. You can also do like if you have like tickets that are spoken to it, you can export those tickets. You can also have conversation with users, right? You can interview them, you can bring it up, right? So it shows you understand the problem. Now the third section is goals and success metrics. You see that they are very, very simple. It's not putting just too many stories in between. It is actually very straight to the point. Now the section 3 is goals and success metrics. Now what do you include here? You are going to do like clear goals. What are we trying to achieve? Specific measurable success metrics, and primary and secondary metrics. So I'm going to give you like example of goals is, okay, for example, let's say the primary goal. What are we trying to do here? Increase purchase conversion by making it easier for users to track and return to products they are interested in. Now the secondary goals are reduce cart abandonment rates, so users won't add items to carts that they are not ready to buy. Increase user engagement, so this one will give like users a reason to return to the app. and also to improve user satisfaction with browsing experience. Now let's get to the success metrics. Primary metrics are 20% of active users use the save for later feature within the first month. 50% of saved items are eventually purchased within 30 days, and overall conversion rate increases by 3 to 5%. So can you see, like, these are the way that you are going to like measure it. Now, what are the secondary measures? Or metrics rather? Cat abandonment rate decreases, and also there is like average section duration increasing by like 5%, and also user satisfaction score, primary in-app survey, it improves from 7.2 to like 7.5. It is something I mentioned in my last video that you see the number game is actually the nailing decision maker, or how do I put it now, in product management. If you go for an interview and you tell them that this is what you have been able to do in your previous company, you move this thing from 1 to 1.2, they are interested in you. So timeline, we are going to measure success 4 weeks after launch. So why is this going to work, right? It is clear. We have specific metrics. It is realistic. It targets not just everything, but there is like a percentage, even if it is little, it is realistic targets. Do you understand? And also it distinguishes between primary and secondary. The primary can be very robust, but secondary metrics, you can actually break it down. And it also sets a timeline for measurement. So you know that, excuse me, this is when we need to start tracking XYZ. Do you understand? Now, what is the beginner tip? When setting metrics, right? Look at your baseline first. Look at the baseline. Don't go all up. Don't go all out. Don't start. I get it. Reach for the stars, but please kindly reach for the torchlights. For the torchlight. Don't go to this. Look for the one that is still very, very you can grab, right? So look at your baseline first. If your current conversion is 2%, don't aim for 10%. Like I said, don't aim for 10%. You are going to get there. But let's start from the very, very soft parts. What do we call it? The lowest hanging apple, the lowest hanging mango. Ahead, that one, let's grab it first. So you can just aim for 2.5 or 3%. So be ambitious, but be very, very realistic so that you don't shoot yourself in the leg. I'm speaking to many providers. What is wrong with you? Do you get me? So yes, that is it. Now, section 4, right? User stories. If you see my user stories, then you're gonna fall in love with it. I feel like I write the best user stories. Yeah. Yes, to be honest, my user stories are actually very sweet, right? So user stories, what you include here, key user personas, those are the things that you're gonna include, and what they need to do. That is the user story. So the format is, as a Temidikolayo, I want to add products, save products for later. Do you get? So that whenever I need to come back, I can easily get them. I'm just joking. That's not like I'm just saying that the example. That's just the format. So we have like, as a the user type, I want to do something so that whatever the outcome is. Now, example is primary user. Let's say my primary user is Sarah. Sarah is a researcher. Sarah browses our app during our lunch break, but doesn't have time to make purchase decisions, right? She wants to save interesting items to review later when she has more time and budget. Now, key user story is, as a browsing user, I want to save a product with one tap so that I can quickly bookmark items without interrupting my browsing flow. Do you understand? Now, another one is, as a user with saved items, I want to view all my saved products in one place so that I can easily review and compare them later. Now, the third one is, as a user ready to purchase, I want to move items from saved list to cart so that I can complete my purchase quickly. The fourth one is, as a user managing my list, I want to remove items I'm no longer interested in so that my saved items saved list stays relevant. Now, the fifth one is, as a user, I want to receive notifications when saved items go on sale so that I don't miss deals on products I'm interested in. So this actually can be like future announcements, maybe not in your MVP, but you can. But you see what I did there? I broke it down from me wanting that feature to what that feature will now do for me, even to the fourth step, even to the fifth step, which may not be in your MVP. So that is how you actually work. That's how you actually write your user story. So user story should not be like just one. You can break that particular story, you can break it down into multiple phases. Do you get? So why this works is that it focuses on user needs, not features. It is specific and actionable. It includes the why so that, and it notes future enhancements separately. Like I said, the fifth one, it is future enhancement. It's not going to go into my MVP. MVP is most voted playlist. I have a video on MVP. You can go and watch it so that you know what MVP is. Now, the beginner tip is that don't write 50 user stories. Mbok, don't write 50 user stories. Focus on the core 5 to 7 that matter most. So that is what you should focus on. And you can always add more later as you build. Your eyes get clearer. The eyes of your understanding becomes enlightened. Do you get me? So you can do that. Now, the fifth section is requirements. What to include. So, like I said, we have the functional requirements, what the feature must do, and we have the non-functional requirements, which are performance, security, etc. Right? And we also have the out of scope, what we are not going to build. This one I like it very much. What we are not going to build. Don't disturb me. So now, example of functional requirements, right? Must have, which is the MVP, must have save products. So this is like, okay, let's say save product button. This one is visible on product detail page and product cards in list. So clear icon, probably art, like I know they use art like favorites, right? Or bookmark, you know that bookmark that looks like a tag, something like that. You can use that single tap to save. I should not be tapping before it responds. Single taps to save, visual feedback when saved, like field icon or micro animation, something just to make user know that, oh, what I clicked responded, it is responsive. So that is that. And now saved items, so list accessible from a main navigation bottom tab or menu. You can put it somewhere visible, somewhere that I don't have to struggle to see. So it must be accessible to me from main navigation. So shows all saved products with image, name, and price, sorted by most recently saved. Tap to view product details, swipe or button to remove from saved list. You can do that. Now move to cart button. Move to cart button. Move to cart button. So the action is to save item to cart. Do you understand? So option to select multiple items and add to cart at once. Now the next one is save item count. So this one will be like, maybe a badge. So it's just going to be like a count badge showing like number of saved items. So it is visible in navigation. Stock status, it shows if saved item is out of status. So you can see if this item is, like for example, if you shop on Temu, right? You see that they will say that one 15 items left or something. You will see that. So that's just for you to know how many items are left for you, so that if you want to purchase, you can purchase immediately, or maybe if you don't want to. So what this one will do is that it will show if price has changed since saving. Now, what are the should have post MVP, right? Filter. So you can have the filter probably by price, category, or date save. You can also create like multiple lists. So we have like gift ideas, or for myself, you can have this. You can also have like a share saved list with others. So for example, if, like for example, I don't have plenty of money like that, I cannot share it with somebody like, bruv, clear my card, bruv. You get, so share saved list with others. And what are some of the cool apps, right? Future consideration, price drop notifications. You can also think of recommendations based on saved items. I know some applications already have this, right? Similar items, maybe suggestions. I know that some applications that I know that I use, e-commerce applications, they already have this feature. So what are some of the non-functional requirements? Saved item must persist across app sections, sync across devices if user is logged in. So what I see on my tab on my web should not be different from what I'm going to see if I'm on my mobile. It should be the same. Do you get? So it should be in sync. I don't want to start struggling. Oh, what did I save here? As long as I'm logged in, I should see it should be in sync, right? Feature should work offline, so you can save locally, sync when online. You get loading saved items list should take less than 2 seconds. Save action should feel instant. This one should be like less than 500 ms, right? So what are some of the out of scope, what we are not going to build? Public wish list, only private for now, please. I don't want to. Well, it's good, Sha. If I want to do GoFundMe, I can put it there, right? Yeah, yeah. So you can do public wish list. You can do sharing saved items on social media, bro. In scope. I want to go and do. I want to go and do error Milowo. Yeah, Price tracking, Eramila means help me, right? So price tracking and alerts, you can also put that. Integration with other users saved list. Sounds sweet. Or secretly add to somebody else's cart. What about that? I'll just put it there. They will not know. They will just check out and they will pay for me. I love it. So why this works is that there's clear prioritization, must have, should have, and could have. I think I have a video on Moscow prioritization. You can also watch it. I have like a video on prioritization techniques, and also specific enough for engineers to estimate, and non-functional requirements ensure quality, and out of scope prevent feature creep. So we know what we need to focus on. We know where our vision is at. So that is it. Now the beginner tip is the out of scope section is crucial. It is very, very crucial. So that when people come, you can tell them that, oh yes, we've actually considered this, but probably for like MVP 2, if there is anything like that, probably for version 1 or version 10. So it helps you push back when stakeholders ask. But why can't we also add? You will tell them that, oh, sir, it's going to be in version 20. Do you understand me? Right. So that is it. Now, what is section 6? User experience or flow. So what do you include here? Simple user flow diagram. You are not a designer. You are not, except if you know how to design chat and you just want to flaunt it. You just want to shade your designers in your office that, guys, I can do all things through Christ that gives me strength. So you can just add like simple user flow diagram, basic wireframes or sketch. It doesn't need to be perfect. Description of key interactions. You can also put that. So example of the user flow is probably flow 1, saving an item. So user browses product by category page or search result. User sees products they are interested in. User taps art or bookmark icon on product card. Icon fills in, brief animation confirm save, and item is added to saved list. Now, the second flow is viewing saved items. You can have like user tab, save tab in bottom navigation, save items list load, shows all saved products, right? And the user can tap item to view details. They can tap to add cart button. They can also swipe left to remove from saved list. And what is the flow 3 going to look like? So moving saved item to cart. So user is viewing saved items list. That is what is going to be happen. So user taps add to cart on a saved item and confirmation appears added to cart. Simple. Then item moves to cart but remains in saved list. Now user can continue browsing or proceed to checkout. Now wireframe, what you are going to do in wireframe notes is in a real PRD, right? You would include simple sketches or wireframes here. Even hand drawn is fine. Like I said, you can use your hand to sketch it. Tools like Figma, Balsamic, or even photos of sketches. That one too is fine. You can put it there. So what are the key interaction? Art icon, like my heart, you can put it there. So empty state is not saved. Field is saved, right? Tap product card equals to view product detail. You can swipe left on saved item. This one means that you remove option appears on that product. Then the add to cart is add to cart with visual confirmation. Then why is this gonna work? Like this user flow, what doesn't make sense? How are we going to know, right? It describes the experience without over designing. You've not started designing, but you just want to have something there. It focuses on key flows, not every edge case. Then there is visual like wireframes plus descriptive text. You can add descriptive text to them, and engineers and designers can understand it. They, even if they will make it finer, better, at least they have an idea of what we are trying to do. Now the beginner tip is your wireframes don't need to be beautiful. Boxes and arrows, fine, perfect. And the goal is to communicate the flow, not create pixel perfect designs. Do we understand? Now the section 7 is dependencies and constraints. Like I said, you may not be able to do this alone by yourself, so you can work with your engineers to assist you with this. What do you include? What you need from other teams? Technical constraints, business constraints, also the risk. So what is the example? Dependencies. We have like technical dependencies. Backend team needs to create API endpoint for save item, retrieve saved items, remove saved item. There are also going to be like database schema updates to support save items per user, analytics team to add tracking for save or unsave actions. Now design dependencies are design team to create icon states and micro animations, UX review of flows before development starts. And what are some of the external dependencies? Well, maybe none. If I have everybody internally, I don't need any external dependencies, except if you are not complete in my team and we need to get someone outside, right? Now, what are some of the constraints? Technical constraints are must work with existing authentication system, cannot impact product page load time. So you cannot impact it because we're adding another feature doesn't mean that something else must break, right? So saved items data must fit within current database capacity. Business constraints, launch must happen before end of Q1. So let's say we are going to do it for like 12 weeks, cannot require additional infrastructural cost less than $500 dollars per month. It shouldn't be too much because you've already, while building the e-commerce application, you've already taken the money. So adding this particular feature should not take too much, right? Must be accessible to users on both iOS and Android. If you have it working on iOS, it should also work on your Android application. Now, what are some of the risks? If users save 100 of items, list performance could degrade. So we have like mitigation, paginate saved full items or item list, right? That can actually impact. It could be degrading, right? So users might expect a price drop notifications. Should I confess? Should I confess? No, I'm not going to confess, which is not in MVP. So the mitigation is that clear communication about what feature does. So why does this work? It works because it identifies what you need from others clearly and early. So also highlight constraints so team can plan ahead, acknowledges risk with mitigation plans, and also set realistic expectations. Now, the beginner tip is that talk to your engineering lead before writing this section. Like I said, you need the engineering department to come up with this. So they will help you identify technical dependencies you might miss. Now, the open question part is the section 8. So what do you include here? What you have not decided yet, questions that need answering, assumptions that need validating. So example of open questions, let's look at product question. Should saved items stay in the saved list after being added to cart, or should they be removed? So decision needed is by, let's say, week 1 of the development. So we have to make that decision by week 1 of development. Owner, who is the owner of that issue? It is the product team to decide based on user research, right? So what happens to saved items if a product is discontinued? Decision needed by before launch. You have to make that decision before launch. Now, who is the owner? Product and engineering. Should there be a limit to how many items a user can save? So current thinking is no limit for MVP. Monitor usage and add limits if needed. The owner is product team. And technical questions like how do we handle saved items sync conflicts. So if user saves or removes on multiple devices simultaneously, have you seen users? So who is the owner? The engineering lead. Decision needed by week 2 of development. Assumptions to validate, right? Users will primarily use this feature on mobile, not web. Let's assume that they are going to like use it on their mobile devices more. So most users will also save 5 to 15 items on average. I am most users, and saved items will significantly impact database storage. So why this works is that it shows you know what you don't know. It shows you see those things that you don't see. Like, why am I sounding so what's the word now? It shows that you don't know what will happen if this thing should happen, right? But you can plan ahead. I don't know if you understand me, but it shows that okay, fine, we know that something like this can happen, no, but we don't know how it's gonna happen, right? So that is just it. So it assigns ownership for decision. So we assume that okay, this is gonna happen. Who is going to carry this headache? So it's this particular person, and also set deadlines for resolving questions and prevent last minute surprises. Now, what's the beginner tip? It is okay to have open questions. A PRD, like I said, is a living document. So update it as you get answers. You can always update it. Now, the last section is timeline and your milestones. So what do you include here? High level timeline, key milestones, and launch dates. If you know it though, you can put it there. So example of timeline is total duration, like I said, 8 weeks from kick off to launch. Key milestones, week 1 to 2, what are we going to do? Design and finalization. UX design is complete. PRD finalized with all open questions resolved. There is also technical architecture review. that is completed. Now, week 3 to 5, what are we going to be doing? Development. So we have like back end API development, we have mobile app development, we have the iOS and also Android in parallel. You are running it simultaneously. We have QA testing. That one is meant to begin, let's say, week 5, right? So week 6, what are we going to be doing? We are doing testing and refinement. So let's say QA is done, full QA testing, bug fixes done, internal beta testing with 20 team members. We've also done that. And week 7, we are going to do pre-launch. So final bug fixes. If there are anything to do, we are going to do that in week 7. Analytics setup and testing, support team training. You have to put like support team so that if there is any complaint, if there is refund, if there is return, they can always pick it up. Then marketing prep, so announcements, screenshots, all of those things. Then week 8, we are gonna go out. We are gonna go and party. So we are going to do like launch in week 8, right? So we are going to do like phased rollouts, 10% of users day 1, 50% day 3, 100% day 5. That's how we are going to do it. So we are also going to monitor metrics closely. All those metrics that we mentioned, we are going to monitor them closely. We are also going to gather user feedback. And post launch, what are we going to be doing? In week 9, review metrics and also gather feedback. And week 10 to 12, we are going to iterate based on learnings. Then launch date, let's say March 13th, 2026, and that is intentional. Okay, it's tentative, but it is intentional. The reason why I say March 13th, you know. But so why this works is that it's realistic. The timeline is realistic with buffer. Do you understand? So you don't just want to set this is it, this is the date. If it doesn't work like this, it's finished. Oh, bro, you're gonna sleep there. So you have to put like you have to say, oh, plus or minus, do you get it right? So clear milestones, everyone understands, and phased rollout reduces risk, and it includes post-launch plan. So the beginner tip is always add buffer time. Things take longer than you expect. So if engineering says 4 weeks, you can just plan for 5 to 6 weeks, my dear, so that they will not come on top of your neck. So you can do that. So tips for writing your first PRD. Now, you have like a complete example of what you need to write, right? So let me give you like a practical tip for writing your first PRD. One, you need to start with a template. Don't start from a blank page. Use the structure I just showed you or find a template online and adapt it. So many companies share PRD templates publicly. You can go on Notion, you can get templates everywhere. Write for your audience. Your PRD will be read by probably your engineers who need to build it, your designers who need to design it, and also stakeholders who need to approve it. So write for your audience. Future you who needs to remember why you made that decision. Because if you are so forgetful, like some people that I don't want to mention their name, right? You can always go back to it and refer to it. So write clearly, avoid jargon, and also use simple language. Don't write something that somebody will not understand, right? The third thing is be specific but not prescriptive. Do you understand? Be very, very specific. Too vague is users should be able to save products. Too prescriptive is use a pink art icon in the top right corner with a bounce. My dear, if I slap you and that you're pink, pink lady, if I wound you. So right, so just provide a clear, accessible way to save products with visual feedback confirming the save action. Shikena, don't give me blue pink icon, guys. So give requirements, not design solutions, unless you have a specific reason, right? Then the fourth one is use visuals. So a simple diagram is worth 1,000 words. So even rough sketches, it helps people to understand faster than paragraphs of text. Now, the fifth one is include the why behind decision. Don't just say what, explain the why. So we are not including price notifications in MVP because it requires building notification infrastructure, which adds like 4 weeks to our timeline. So we had this in version 2 after validating core feature usage. Simple. You had that the why, right? This help people understand your thinking and prevent them from questioning every decision. Make it scannable. You should use like clear section headers, bullet points, bold text for key points, and also short paragraph. Like make it very, very short, straight to the point, right? People skim PRDs, so make it easy to find information. Update it as you learn. You should also update it. Then the eighth thing, get feedback before finalizing. Ensure that you get feedback. Ensure you get approval before finalizing it. So you can share a draft with the designer, the stakeholder, your senior PM, somebody, just get like approval. Then don't aim for perfection. Your first PRD won't be perfect. In fact, your 10th PRD will still not be perfect, and that's okay. The goal is communication, not creating a masterpiece. So you just need to like ship a good enough PRD and improve it based on feedback. Then the next one, which is the 10th one, is reference it in meetings. So once you have a PRD, use it as outlined in the PRD section 3. Let me add that to the PRD's open questions. Check the PRD for requirement detail. Like you should always reference it so they know that you have it. Do you understand me? So always reference it every time you get to. Now, what are some of the common PRD mistakes to avoid? And we are coming to the end of the video. Um, Mistake number one, making it too long. It doesn't have to be too long. I've explained this. It doesn't have to be too long. I'm writing it alone. No, you cannot write it alone. I already mentioned people that should work with you on that. So don't write it alone. It's not just for you. Being too vague. Improve user experience is not a requirement. Reduce product page load in load time to under 2 seconds is a requirement. So do you understand? The mistake number 4 is forgetting the why. You need to put the why so that people, when they read it, they see the reason behind whatever decision you made, right? And the 5th one is not defining success. So how will you know if this feature worked? Define the metrics upfront, not after launch. And the 6th one is ignoring constraints. So the budget, the time, the technical limitations, these are real. So you need to address them in your PRD. Don't just think that, oh, they know. No, put it there in your PRD, and so that it is there, people know, people understand. Then mistake number 7 is never updating it. Do not be like that. A PRD that doesn't reflect current reality is worse than no PRD, so keep it updated. Now, some of the tools that I use for writing my PRDs and where you can actually get them. So I know that there is Google Docs, which is like very common. There is also Notion. I know there is Notion. I have like templates on Notion. I have templates on Notion that I use, and also Confluence. If your company uses it, for example, you can integrate it with Jira. It is actually good for large organization. And you can also use Microsoft Word of Office 365. So it is familiar to many teams. It works offline, but collaboration is actually messier than Google Docs. Let me put it there. So my recommendation would be to start with either Notion or Google Docs. See, whichever one works for you, really. But I think Notion is good. There is like a template there that it's very, very good. So now you know how to write a PRD from scratch, right? You can always play around it. It's like I said again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So you know what a PRD is and why it matters. The Nike sections to include a complete example. So we have like the say for later feature. Say thank you. All right, thank you, Temi. Now you have like tips for writing your first PRD and common mistakes to avoid, and also the tools you can use. So the action step that I want you to take this week is, if you are building a portfolio, write a PRD for one of your case studies. This shows that you can document like a real PM. So if you are in a PM role, pick a small feature you are working on and write a PRD using the structure, right? And just practice. The more PRDs you write, the faster and better you will get. And remember, your first PRD doesn't need to be perfect. I keep saying this. It needs to be clear and useful. So start simple, get feedback, and improve over time. So you can also drop in the comment section for me. Have you written a PRD before? And what was it? Was it challenging? What was challenging when you were writing it? So let me know. If you are writing your first one, what feature are you documenting? Is it feature about your, let's see, all right, somebody that you want to beat, right? Or somebody that you want to one, somebody that is owing you money? You can write PRD for it though. You know. All right, so you can, what are you documenting if you are just writing your PRD? And what questions do you have about PRDs? And I will read every comment and answer most of them or all of them. I'm that gracious. Say thank you again. Right. So if this was helpful, you know what to do. Please like, subscribe, and if you write a PRD using this guide, I would love to hear how it goes. And thank you for watching. Now go write some very, very useful and clear PRDs. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye.